This action research is intended to enhance student engagement and achievement in mathematics through a pedagogical approach of dialogic classroom and constructivist experiences. This research will be conducted in a suburb situated in Ingleburn, and confidentially the school will contain a pseudonym, AUPS, as a school's name. In Ingleburn, most households maintain a low socioeconomic status, which was severely impacted by COVID-19 pandemic, as families experienced job loss, food and medicines became rationalized, and most noticeably, children came to school without recess and lunch. However, the school principal and deputy principal, with the support of some of the 20 classroom teachers, established food stores to accommodate 527 students' families by providing essential pantry staples like bread, eggs, milk, cereal. Since the school's establishment in 1980, it constantly aims to support its community and contribute to the community's well-being. My classroom consists of 26 Stage 2 Year 4 students. A daily lesson schedule was written on the whiteboard, which aimed to reduce students' potential anxiousness and anticipation, as students were strategically allocated a seat on the floor. Initially, students' seating arrangement was flexible, but numerous inappropriate classroom behaviors was exhibited through inappropriate language use, distracting fellow peers, adherence to classroom rules. Nonetheless, students were equipped with iPads and Chromebooks to complete teacher-modified resources that stimulated creative thinking and developed real-world skills. Moreover, the resources are student-directed, involves active, hands-on tasks, as true engagement is fulfilled when it suits students' learning needs. As such, during my observation, my mentors teachers' pedagogical practices aligned with the school's approach in providing essential and meaningful student engagement. My mentor articulated formative strategies that student learning was ongoing and progressive through reflective practices. In doing so, he successfully met the students' learning and psychosocial needs to ensure learning was pivotal for true engagement in mathematics. Consequently, optimization of the Me framework will be utilized to improve student cognitive and operative engagement towards mathematics. Unfortunately, students perceive mathematics knowledge as an attainable trait that is fixed mindsets. They influence their motivation and behavior during lessons. In consideration, students' beliefs and motivation prevents them in confronting difficulties and challenges, thus preventing students to exert much effort or create pessimistic views towards mathematics. Although adopting my teachers' pedagogical practices and strategies were crucial in attaining competency towards the learning goal and success criteria, whereby it involved lessons to commence with numeracy talks, followed by modeling and classroom discussion on the success criteria and learning goals before allocating the mathematical groups to their working stations. In working station rotations, activities were differentiated and distributed amongst 5 groups, and each group contained at least 6 people. Students rotate from one station to another, completing a minimum of 3 tasks to provide opportunities to collaborate, engage with educational technology tools, for example iPads and Bbots, and promotes high-order thinking skills. The stimulating learning environment aims to impact the engaging messages conveyed through mathematics lessons. Therefore, substantive engagement in mathematics is achieved through research and reflective practices. I question my competency to support students' improvement and achievement in mathematics. How should I improve my pedagogical practice? Initially, classroom disruption by students included a broad range of rule-breaking behavior, whereby students' talkative demeanor and adherence to classroom rules. Reflecting on such behavior in my previous practicum often impacted their ability to complete tasks and a conceptual understanding, specifically during mathematical lessons. Consequently, a general increase in disruptive behavior and limited engagement required a revision of my management. To address this issue, I aligned my revised philosophy and focused on students' academic needs and interests rather than mine. Hence, to achieve 21st century mathematics education, a dialogic classroom through a pedagogic focus upon constructivist learning is required. As such, incorporating the idea of a dialogic approach to classroom interaction embraces on-task conversations between students and teachers for deeper, meaningful engagement. In doing so, dialogue occurs through collaboration as the co-construction of knowledge in reflective contexts is promoted by a zone of proximal development. These interactions create a supportive environment that explicitly develops students' reasoning skills and enhance future focus capabilities, whereby the development of important 21st century skills enables students to help practice collaboration, critical and creative skills. To ensure a dialogic classroom is implemented appropriately, a pedagogic approach of constructivism will be integrated. To ensure a dialogic classroom is implemented appropriately, a pedagogic approach of constructivism will be integrated. Facilitating dialogic strategies for engagement, students will become constructors of knowledge, constructive feedback, self-assessment, and holistic development throughout mathematical lessons. The focus of each strategy promotes a student-centered approach that exhibits constructive learning. Moreover, the concept is broadened to actively construct collaborative experiences and knowledge in a learning environment which is central to constructivist ideologies. Although the difficulties in implementing a pedagogical approach to the dialogic classrooms are probable, in stating that ATAD ETAL 2018 reinforces problematic situations that could arise. For instance, the pedagogical approach is prone to off-task talking and loud volumes if students are not engaged. Thus, these hindrances and negative partnerships of self-bias of students restrict cooperative and collaborative learning with peers. More importantly, students lacking motivation and enthusiasm due to a fixed mindset towards mathematics is a component that I intend to improve with my pedagogical practice. Regardless, the implementation of a dialogic classroom for constructivist learning outweighs the negative implications and provides a more beneficial approach to learning. Subsequently, students are enabled to have ownership of their learning through the opportunities for interaction, thinking, and understanding mathematical concepts with teachers and students, which allows them to be insiders. Thus, each student-centered approach is crucial for engagement, as allowing students to take responsibility for their own learning and have the confidence to express themselves, produce higher motivation, and develop growth mindsets in a positive learning environment. Overall, I intend to encourage and motivate students to connect, succeed, and thrive in the classroom, and enjoy a lifetime of learning. In saying this, refining my professional practice and strengthening competencies towards Australian professional standards for teaching is an approach that aims to improve mathematical learning and other KLAs. The following experiences incorporate dialogic strategies for constructed learning and are evaluated through the ME framework. To effectively evaluate my pedagogical approach on dialogic strategies, I utilize observational data, work samples, and student self-assessment in a constructivist classroom. In correlation with the ME framework and appropriate syllabus outcomes, it contributed in refining students' engagement and achievement in mathematics. The use of an observational method is an approach that monitors students' behavior response to dialogic strategies. Most importantly, identifies their conceptual understanding and knowledge of mathematical concepts. Moreover, the incorporation of a third-person perspective, for example a mentor, is a valuable asset for data collection, which observed and critiqued my involvement with student engagement practices and behavioral management strategies. In consideration, the two observation strategies distinguish successful and unsuccessful strategies used in the classroom. Furthermore, concerning analyzing academic achievement and behavior, The strategies will reinforce the level of engagement displayed in dialogic classrooms. Observational data is beneficial for collecting different modes of data, like auditory and visual, and is an efficient and authentic method as it discreetly assesses students without their awareness. Despite a mostly positive response from the method, there is difficulty in maintaining a balance of implicit and yet highly attentive observation. For an example, overt surveillance can trigger student awareness of assessment, and inevitably diminishes any probable approach in efficient and authentic data collection whilst teaching. Also, it will produce unreliable and/or poor quality data and unsupported claims, which leads to misuses that harm students' motivation and engagement in observation process. The work samples are uploaded to Google Classroom as it contributes to stimulating inner motivation, as students share their learning progress with parents and caretakers, which in turn is related to contributing to their self-regulation and school achievement. Thus, providing insightful comments and feedback will only further contribute to students achieving learning goals and success criteria, as uploading the documents on the platform is an indication of engagement, based off individual and group samples. Also, recognizing and valuing each work sample shared reinforces an accurate depiction of data collection towards learning progress, but it does not always show the students' thought processes. Additionally, an adaptation of real framework and relevant syllabus will utilize student self-assessment. In doing so, it elicits students to change their metacognitive skills, which in turn form the deeper understanding of their strengths and weaknesses through open-ended questions and dialogic opportunities. Moreover, the impact of collaborative learning or self-regulation and academic achievement at low and high levels of cognitive domains. However, internal psychological factors, for example low self-esteem, low self-efficiency and lack of motivation, could impact self-assessment due to a student's goal to just satisfy teachers' expectations, which is then subjective to interpretation. Simultaneously, a ME framework utilizing various student responses derived from reflective questions, which is vital to target engagement types. Considering the three data types mentioned, the significance of each approach manifested and transformed my pedagogical practice in analyzing student learning. More specifically, observation in a dialogic classroom enables external processes of interaction that contribute to constructivist learning. Also, student self-assessment contributes to establishing engagement with various KLAs. For instance, immersing in various KLAs promotes further growth mindsets as students draw parallels on learning areas beyond school, which is represented through my analytic design for big engagement. Similarly, the indicators of engagement, as shown, provides insightful feedback on student progression towards achieving resilience through limited, somewhat, and deep understanding of mathematics. Likewise, students attempting achieving mathematics syllabus outcomes is vital to provide an indication of the student achievement in true engagement experiences. Finally, pedagogical refinements and content adaptations of students' needs and interests was made within this research. As such, the ME framework, active and dialogic learning, are tools for personal development that requires ample time before improvement is realized. However, it does pose beneficial implications that did suit my students during my practicum. The action research revolutionized and enhanced my future pedagogical practices through extensive research and reflection as a practitioner. It sparked a nearly profound understanding of how motivation impacts substantive engagement and enduring educational values within 21st century education. Researching dialogic classrooms for constructive learning refined and developed realistic strategies that would improve engagement, as students will apprehend the relevance and importance that school is for them. As discussed previously, the data collection and analysis beholds many benefits for students and simultaneously strengthens my competence towards Australian professional standards for teaching. As a future educator, utilizing action research will continue to develop a deeper understanding of different yet relevant perceptions of knowledge within and beyond our school.